Let's bring in Mohamad Elmasry, a professor of media studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. Mohammed, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you coming on the programme. So what's more important here to these leaders? Is it politics or business?
Well, I think it's both. I think it's difficult to separate the two in this case. I think what's interesting is that both of these leaders kind of need one another, right? The Saudis have very lofty ambitions with their Vision 2030. They need U.S. support in technology and defense and other areas. And Donald Trump and the United States need the Saudis to be able to do a lot of what they do politically in the Middle East, but also for these investments. Donald Trump made a lot of promises when he was campaigning for president last year related to the U.S. economy, and this $600 billion pledge that Mohammed bin Salman made to Donald Trump in May is very significant, in part because $600 billion is a lot of money on its own, but also because it's seen as part of this Gulf package, which, according to some estimates, is closer to $2 trillion. So there's really, I think, a relationship here of mutual benefit and mutual dependence.
And it's quite a reversal in fortunes for Saudi Arabia. Just a couple of years ago, Joe Biden described them as an international pariah. Now, the opposite appears to be the case. Could this meeting and any potential agreements redefine the US role in the Middle East?
Well, I think that's fascinating. You're right. I mean, a few years ago, this kind of a meeting seemed an impossibility. And I think this meeting just underscores that the page has been officially turned, right? I mean, the Jamal Khashoggi affair is history as far as the United States government is concerned. And that underscores, back to your first question about politics, this visit gives a kind of stamp of approval for Mohammed bin Salman. This will help him shore up support at home and regionally. I think it's probably more important for him than it is for Donald Trump. But you're right to underscore how significant this is, because again, a few years ago, this would have been impossible.
And Mohammed bin Salman will want a security guarantee for Saudi Arabia rather than an assurance, because of course there's a big difference between those two.
Absolutely, absolutely. He wants a kind of security pact. The U.S. just signed a pact with Qatar a couple of months ago, and I think the Saudis are going to want something similar. But the Saudis also want those F-35s, which your correspondent was mentioning, and I think that's really maybe the most interesting part of this entire meeting, because the United States government is obligated by law to maintain Israel's military advantage, their qualitative military edge, the QME. There was a 2008 law passed, and the U.S. is again obligated by law to make sure that Israel is stronger militarily than anyone else in the region. And now you have the Saudis coming along and wanting reportedly 48 of these F-35s. Israel is on record saying that they don't oppose the sale of the F-35s to the Saudis as long as a normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia or between Saudi Arabia and Israel is reached. Meanwhile, the Saudis don't look to be any closer to agreeing to a normalization deal. So I think you're going to get almost a battle between the America first approach and the Israel first approach. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how things shake out in Washington.
Mohammed, good to talk to you. Thanks very much for joining us on TRT World.